Welcome to the Airgun Show. This week I'm taking a look at a very affordable break barrel gas ram in the shape of the Umarex Cyrix. But first up, it's getting colder and the rats are moving in onto the farms, so I'm heading out to try and nail a few. Right, well, autumn's rolling on and my ratting season's just starting to get into full swing now, really. So we're out targeting them this evening and we've arrived on the farm before nightfall just to have a look around. We haven't been here for a while, so we just want to have a proper look around, make sure that we stay safe, look for any potential hazards, and just importantly, look for signs of those rats. There are footprints and there are droppings. Seen a few burrows as well, so although it doesn't appear to be absolutely infested just yet, there are definitely a few rats for us to go at. So the kit for this evening, a little bit different from usual. I often use the FX Impact for ratting, but just for a change, I've got the Dreamline out with me tonight. Now you could argue it's too good to take out ratting, but I've had this gun for a while. It's not really getting out a lot, so I thought I'd take it out and treat myself this evening. It hasn't got such a huge capacity magazine as the Impact, but it has still got a fairly large capacity. I'm getting more than 20 shots from this mag in 177, so I don't expect to be doing a lot of reloading. A nice thing about this gun is the fact that it is incredibly light, and when I'm using the ATN X-Sight 4K Pro, which is a heavy unit, it just helps to shave down some of the weight of the combo. Yeah, back to the ATN X-Sight, it is heavy, it is lumpy, it's a bit unwieldy, but it is a decent night vision unit. I get on really well with it. I like using it. That's held on as ever with sports match scope mounts. When it comes to tactics, I'm going to use my usual sit and wait approach, certainly for most of the evening. So we've earmarked one or two of the sort of more ratty looking areas. So I have brought along a few very small carp pellets that I might just put down piles of those to use as a bit of bait. In all honesty, I'm not expecting them to have a great deal of appeal just because this is a mixed farm. We've got grain stores, we've got cattle feed, we've got turkey feed. There's lots for the rats to eat. I'm not expecting my bait piles to have a great deal of attraction, but I'm going to try them nonetheless. So I'll be sat on my stool, sit and wait tactics, using the sticks so I've got nice steady shots when they come along. Now, if that isn't productive, like I say, we've earmarked a couple of different areas, so if this first spot doesn't produce, we'll just move on and try somewhere else. We're going to have another quick look around now. The light's starting to fade. Obviously we want it to get dark so we can crack on with the shooting. Before very long, darkness has closed in and the rats are on the move. Well, that wasn't a bad start. Didn't have to wait very long for that one. It was actually fairly close to one of my bait spots, but didn't get a chance to get to it. Well, that one was actually very close to where I shot the first one. It was a little bit further away though, so I gave it just a touch of hold under because it was between those two zero ranges, but seemed to be good shot placement. Absolutely walloped it in the head, even if it did flick about for a bit. Slightly closer one there. Only looked to be about half grown actually, but they all count. And there's another one. Now, it's been a pretty steady start, to be honest. Certainly better than I'd expected, so hopefully we're in for a few. And there's another one. Now, I did have a bit of a flurry from this spot. It is slowing down now. I think we will give it a little bit longer, but then maybe move on and try another spot.
The wait between shots is really stretching out now, which suggests that it could be time to try somewhere else.
Nailed that one, but it has really slowed down. That was a heck of a wait. Also got quite a few farm workers moving around this area now. I wouldn't be at all surprised if you've picked up on some of the noise on the audio. So we're getting quite a lot of disturbance. I don't want to take any dangerous shots, so as I said at the outset, we earmarked a few areas that look like they could be promising. What I'm going to do now is move on to another one of those that enables me to cover another grain store, and hopefully we'll get a few shots there. We didn't have to wait very long for that one. A few rats actually scattered when we arrived. There were others out when I took that shot, so we shouldn't have to wait very long to get some more. That one was a little bit further away, at about 20 metres, so I gave the shot a touch of hold under, and it was a lovely clean kill. Really close one there, about 10 metres. There's absolutely no excuse for missing those. I nailed that one, but that was a heck of a wait. It really has slowed down. We've been here a long time now. Moving to this spot has got us a few more shots, but as I said, it's getting late. I've got a really early start in the morning, so this seems like a pretty good time to wrap it up, but I'll be back again for more very soon. You can't beat a bit of after dark ratting. Next up, I'm getting to grips with the Umarex Cyrix brake barrel gas ram. You can't beat an affordable brake barrel for a bit of backyard tin toppling. But this airgun is actually capable of a bit more than that. It's the Umarex Syrix, distributed in the UK by John Rothery Wholesale, and it retails for just £139.95, and that's with the supplied scope and mounts. Let me tell you a little bit more about it. Right, as I said, this is the Umarex Cyrix. It's a brake barrel, but it runs a gas ram power plant rather than a spring and piston. It weighs a very manageable 3.6 kilos without the scope fitted, which I think is just about perfect for this type of airgun, and it measures 116 centimetres from end to end. I'd say the proportions of the Cyrix are certainly better suited to adults than youngsters. Length of pull is just under 36 centimetres, and the point of balance falls about 10 centimetres in front of the trigger guard. The ambidextrous stock feels really nice in the shoulder, and it's just a very comfortable gun to shoot. The black synthetic stock is built to stand up to fairly rough use in unsympathetic hands. I really like the long forend, which has the room to accommodate a wide variety of hold styles. Another really nice touch is the deep grooves that run along the front section. They certainly ensure a very secure grip. Pistol grip design can fall somewhat short on affordable airguns, but this one is actually very good. It's grooved in the same way as the forend, although not quite as deeply. Most importantly, it's got a fairly steep rake and plenty of room to accommodate larger hands. Consequently, it sets me up really nicely for the trigger. Although the cheek piece isn't exceptionally high, it's still high enough to give good eye alignment with the open sights and also with the scope, which thankfully comes supplied with low mounts. Now the butt section is finished with a rubberized recoil pad, although it doesn't have a great deal of work to do because this gun doesn't really have a lot of kick. The finish on the Cyrix is better than I would expect on an airgun at this price point, and the engineering also appears to be pretty tidy. I really like the matte black coating on the metalwork, which apart from helping to reduce glint in sunlight, should also help to keep the dreaded rust at bay. Fibre optic open sights come fitted. The front element is red and the green rear element is adjustable for windage and elevation. The cylinder is machined with dovetail rails for scope attachment and also has a hole to accept a recoil arrestor pin. Now, although the open sights are perfectly good, I've been using the supplied telescopic sight for most of my testing. The scope is a 4x32 model, which I think is well suited to this sort of airgun, and it comes supplied with 2-piece mounts which have held it very securely in place during my testing. It's actually not a bad little optic for the money, and it's certainly helped me squeeze a little bit more accuracy out of this airgun than I could with the open sights. You need to use a coin or a screwdriver to turn the slotted windage and elevation turrets, but they do turn with very distinct stops. As I've already said, this airgun has a gas ram power plant and it's actually pretty good. It's churning out about 9.5 foot-pounds muzzle energy, which is more than enough on an airgun like this, and it's doing it fairly consistently. The cocking stroke does take a fair amount of effort, but it is smooth, and once you've popped a pellet into the breech, the lockup feels pretty secure. When you cock the gun, the downward stroke also engages the automatic safety catch, which is resettable. Now, I don't really like a safety catch that's quite so close to the trigger blade, but it certainly is easy to access. The gun is safe when it's in the rearward position, and you simply thumb it forwards when you're ready to shoot. You can't expect too much when it comes to triggers on affordable airguns, but you do want them to be predictable, and this one certainly is. The curved blade feels comfortable, and although there is a little bit of creep in the single stage unit, it breaks in the same place every time, so the let-off quickly becomes very predictable. Right then, that's the main features of the 177 caliber Umarex Syrix. I'm going to put out a paper target now and show you how it shoots. What a shame that third shot went wide, because 3 of the other shots practically went through the same hole. It's a nice gun to shoot. The cocking stroke does take a fair amount of effort, and I'm really grateful for that foresight section just for a bit of extra grip. Be warned though, it isn't a silencer, and this gun does have a bit of a bark to it. Now, another nice thing is that the recoil is fairly modest, and what little bit of kick there is comes straight back into the shoulder, and there's no irritating, reverberating twang. In terms of accuracy, I mean, we've got to be realistic. It is a really affordable airgun. It's also a blustery day. and we have pulled the target in to 20 meters for that 5-shot group. But I think in calm conditions with a bit of practice, it's probably capable of tackling live quarry, certainly squirrels and rats, probably 8 to 20 meters. And aside from that one flyer, the group I just shot then pretty much confirms that. So that's the Umarex Syrix. It certainly won't break the bank. It should stand up to a few bumps and scrapes, and given its price point, it's actually a pretty good performer. If you're after an air gun that's going to require minimal maintenance and give you loads of fun plinking in the backyard, plus be up to a little bit of pest control over responsible ranges, then this could be exactly what you're after.
Look out for the new and improved Airgun Shooter magazine, packed full of technique, gear and insight from some of the best shooters in the industry. Brand new look and free video content. Pick up your copy today in stores or online.
I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this week, but as ever, we'll be back again in a fortnight. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, have a look at their website and check out the benefits that you could be taking advantage of through Airgun membership.